serious, cause I'm a different breed, they call me alien.
That's what we're gonna do. Let's talk about giant. Let's see what he has to say about giants. Nephilim clowns. Ooh.
Ready, set, get to Kohl's for
La
clearance.
la la. Here. Nephilim look like clowns.
Of people in clown outfits trying to lure children into the woods with candy.
It sounds like a plotline out of some horror movie, but people in Greenville in an apartment complex there say this is happening to them.
Hello everybody and welcome back for another video.
Hello,
Today we're
hello.
going to be talking the Nephilim looked like clowns.
Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of what the Nephilim are. I'm pretty sure he's gonna explain it, but let me just, you know, I gotta add my flavor to it. I'm not trying to just jip off the man's stuff, you know, or I'm not gonna say man, I don't know. I'm not gonna jip off their stuff, but Nephilim were the ancient giants. If you watch Wendigo, you probably know a whole lot more than you should know about Nephilim. So let's get back into it.
Now the inspiration for this video, it actually came from a video series. I think it was like a 10-part video series that I saw on YouTube maybe in 2016. And what was being put forward in that series was this concept that what we know today as a clown and the way a clown looks and some of the behaviors of a clown or clowns in general might actually be derived from what's referred to as the Nephilim. And I know that sounds like a stretch, but when you start to look into some of these things, it gets interesting. So this series is no longer the channel that created the content is still on YouTube, but
10-part series
hasn't produced videos for a long time. But this series has been removed, and
of course it's been removed.
I wanted to just sort of hit on some of the key points that were brought up, and I will leave links.
Remember, check out Conspiracies Are Us. He's referencing Understanding Conspiracy. So this was a smaller channel. See, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. Back in the more like we went through the adpocalypse and the whole like censorship, misinformation apocalypse with COVID thing, just lost monetization from there. But we went through all of that, and a lot of people's channels and stuff got taken down. Like a lot of people's channels and like old conspiracies and stuff like that got taken down. And it was kind of crazy because sometimes it was warranted when it was just people like being like anti-Semitic, like just throwing out straight hate instead of like any like facts or opinion, like facts or just like any like substance within their content. But they would just go and just take down everything or just block everybody's videos. Like that's why it used to be so hard to find conspiracy stuff on YouTube. Like you would have to be digging through the fudging like 4chan or like just different websites like live leak stuff like that. You would have to be searching for it, and that's why like when I popped up talking about where is this Strange Pathways, I think no I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah, when I was talking about John Lamb, I didn't again, we're gonna watch this guy, but when I was talking about him, BitChute, this is one of the sites where it's like we had to go to the most obscure websites to find just this type of content when YouTube was popping. You know, YouTube has always been popping, and YouTube used to be a lot more gung-ho with hiding this type of stuff and not letting it get pushed. It's crazy now since we went through all of our apocalypses, and now Like they can't hide a lot of these like theories and concepts anymore. We are able to like push out this type of content as long as we follow a certain formula. So
links to the channel, and because I found another channel that re-uploaded this series, so I'll leave a link to all that. Now, getting into this topic a little
links. And he has a Patreon.
You know,
sub to his Patreon.
We have this association with not only clowns as being entertaining, but we associate them with certain characteristics like red hair, pale skin, as well as you know, the blood red nose, and also certain characteristics like tricksters, mischievous, and now even we're getting this these associations between clowns being evil, both in the media and in movies. We see this concept that clowns being evil is a common theme in a lot of movies these days.
Yep.
As well as being...
That's facts. I know a lot of people who have clown fears to this day. I used to kind of be scared of clowns, but I'm never actually like fear clowns. Sometimes I'd be creeped out, but I was never like, I don't want to touch the clown. Like I would, if I was a little kid, I'd probably still like giggle at the clowns and stuff, because clowns aren't even that fucking bad. I don't know if you guys seen that Billy and Mandy clip, that Billy and Mandy episode where Billy was like, the clowns will destroy us all. Shit, that could have been programming, you know what I'm saying? Before I dive into it, but like if there's actually any credence to this, you'll see like this is hilarious. Hey Mandy. This is like programming for fucking
what are you doing?
For kids to make sure they're scared of them.
The clown thing. I should have known. Get out here. You're going to make me ask, aren't you? Ask what? What's with all of the oranges? They're not oranges.
They're tangelos. Tangelos.
Okay. What's with all the tangelos? Clowns hate tangelos. Messes with their equilibrium. Who told you that, Fungus?
Messes with the equilibrium. Hilarious. I remember this.
Billy, you've got to get over this ridiculous fear of...
I'm just saying, man.
Tricksters and mischievous,
it's a ridiculous
like I said.
fear.
So, is there any chance that that's actually coming from somewhere?
Shouldn't be fair.
Or from something? And what's being put forward in this series is that this is a representation of, in some way, of the Nephilim. Now where things start getting interesting is when you start looking at the history of giants. Especially you have this, the mysterious cave of the redhead giants, and how many native tribes in the northeast and southwest, they still speak about legends of giants with red hair, and how their ancestors fought long and terrible wars against these giants. And you think of the Paiute Indians, who are native to parts of Nevada, Utah, and Arizona, and they would tell the white people the stories of the battles of their ancestors had with a race of fierce giants who had pale skin, in addition to red hair. So that's an interesting connection.
Yep. And as well as numbers.
I think it's in the Bible, in the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 33, where they talk about the Nephilim and their giant stature. So it is interesting that we have this association. Nephilim, pale skin, red hair. Clowns, pale skin, red hair. I don't know about them being giant, but interesting. That's an interesting point. And just thinking about red hair in general, you know, we've got these interesting ties to like these elongated skulls having red hair, and even the giant Moai statues on Easter Island having these red caps. Now, just as a point of fact, I should mention that the appearance that we sort of associate with the clown, a lot of that was developed apparently in 1801 by this person, Joseph Grimaldi. And what's referred to as the white-faced clown was originally designed by him, as I mentioned, in 1801. But the idea being put forward in this video series that I watched was, what if the inspiration behind this appearance is actually something else entirely? And he was pointing to the Nephilim. Okay, here's where things take a twist. I was reading this article talking about why do people who take DMT see these jesters and tricksters. And what I wanted to mention, and this is just an excerpt from that article, the text, but what I wanted to mention is Joe Rogan, who's got one of the most popular podcasts in the world. He actually took DMT and he ran into these jesters. And he talked about it, how they were sort of taunting him. And now in the article, it talks about how strangely these jester type entities commonly appear in the DMT experience.
Okay. I'll click that later. We got more
So
follow-up.
people encounter these clowns, jesters, jokers during their experiences with DMT. Now, these entities are often engaged in elaborate and mind-boggling performances and tricks. But it's not only their behavior which is interesting, but their environment is interesting because many people find themselves in strange dimensions that resemble a circus or a carnival or a casino. So you've got these entities that people bump into who are mischievous, and they kind of act like clowns, and their environment is a circus. So what do we have obviously here? We've got the clown. Not only do we have clowns who have this, the pale skin, the red hair, all that.
Wendy, if you do ever watch this video, you gotta talk about this. I know you like the Giants, but you gotta talk about giants and clowns. Yeah.
But they're associated with circuses. So what if what we have here in the physical is actually paying homage to these non-physical entities? Just something to think about. And the appearances, at least of these DMT.
Wait, have you guys heard of the solar plex clown gliders thing? If I mess with your head, I'm sorry, but
Gestures that people see.
those that might be a thing.
A lot of times they speak about these entities having these two protrusions from their head.
No.
And also,
I'm getting spooky.
They'll see checkerboard patterns in and around, around these figures or entities. And on message boards like DMT Nexus, people talk about a lot of these strange coincidences of seeing these entities and some of the things they see.
Hold on. Comments. Did y'all say any? Let me make sure the comments ain't saying nothing about solar plex clown gliders. I'm sorry. Cognito hazard warning. Put it up here. Should have said that before, but you never know.
Now, in culture, there are cultures that refer to these entities as well. And you have the Hopi people and their sacred clowns. So you've got this concept, the Pueblo clowns, and they have these rituals where they dress up like jesters and tricksters, and they paint themselves with these striped patterns, and they have these headdresses with these protrusions, and you start looking at some of the figures associated with these rituals, and it looks just like these entities, these stripes, the protrusions, pale face, and you just kind of got to wonder what's going on. And then you find out the Kosher is a sacred clown of the Hopi, one that you're likely to see at the Katsina ceremonies. He is one of several clowns which are sometimes called jesters or tricksters. And they say the koshers are sacred entities of the Pueblo world. But so you can see the protrusions, the stripes, what's put forward in the series, and I wouldn't be surprised if these are indeed real entities that are non-physical, and the Pueblos were interacting with these entities, and it's the same entities that people who take DMT are encountering. And it's not just an archetype. It's not the collective unconscious or collective consciousness, but we're talking about real entities and their environment.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. These dudes look a little freaky, bro. Look at them. Look at them. That shape is so like unique, bro. But it is. I see where you can get, like, I see how they creep you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, these do look creepy. But like, damn. Are y'all scared of clowns? Are you scared of clowns? Let me know in the comments, bro. Let me know. Please.
Is very circus-like, and what we're seeing in the physical is just a recreation of that. Just sort of this weird concept. But in movies,
Mad Hatter
right,
is not a
we
clown.
got the Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland, the main the main character, pale face, red hair. You had also in that movie the Red Queen, pale faced, and I believe in the background you had this jester here figure with the pale faced protrusions, and also, we look at McDonald's and Ronald McDonald's and the Hamburglar. They got their stripes, Ronald McDonald, obviously the clown motif, and it just makes you wonder if the influence of all this is not what we think it is. But talking about the Hamburglar and the hat, and of course you got the Mad Hatter with the hat. Just as a side note, a lot of people who have night terrors, sleep paralysis, they will talk about seeing a figure with a hat.
Don't forget the Benadryl. There's a lot of stories of people who like take a lot of Benadryl and then they see the Hat Man. And I've been looking. I didn't even know that, like, there's a few books on the Hat Man. Like, I thought it was more of like an internet phenomenon, but the Hat Man is actually like a well documented entity. You know what I mean? So that might be something we look into.
Who seems to be sort of controlling the experience, and a lot of times he's wearing a flannel shirt, which sounds strange, but of course we have movie Nightmare on Elm Street. He's wearing that patterned sweater with the stripes, and he's got a hat on, so just sort of a interesting side note. But
Beetlejuice?
we have Beetlejuice, right? He's this pale-faced character who is a troublemaker, and he's irreverent. A lot of these same characteristics just keep popping up. And I wanted to show you a 25-second clip from this series that I saw. And it's going to be somebody who's drawing a demon. And as he's drawing it and showing it, there's a manifestation that happens in the video, and it's going to have some relation to this image that you're seeing with Beetlejuice here. So let's take a quick look at that short clip. Okay, so it's really grainy and it's low quality here, but this person's showing a drawing that he did of a demon that he saw. And as he's doing it,
Bro looked like a demon himself.
you got something's materializing behind him, and it looks like it's attached to him, and it's got that stripe pattern. and it's going to disappear from the camera. And I'll let this run once more. And it's sort of behind him here. You could just sort of, as he's showing this picture of a demon he drew.
I can't say that's like a manifestation, bro. It looks kind of like just a very bad camera glitch from like those old cameras. But again, don't know.
You sort of have something.
See, that might be a thing. See, I'm already like feeling, since we've been looking at all these scary pictures of like creepy clowns and stuff. Now I'm feeling chills, bro. I'm getting timid, bro. So like, that might be it. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, when he's talking about how like they're manifesting through like. I'm just talking. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Y'all get me. You get me. I hope y'all get me at least. But like, I'm getting chilled and freaked out not freaked out, but I'm getting chilled myself. So like, shh.
That seems.
What if it's the fact that like we are thinking about it, talking about it, and like us bring it again, like if you are into like magic, spirituality, our words are spells. So like as we talk about certain things, like we are casting spells. So me talking about this, me watching this, and us like interacting with this, it's letting these entities come into our world and like prank us, you know?
Materializing behind him. And I can't speak to the veracity of this video, but I found it pretty interesting. So I just wanted to show it with you guys, and it's going to disappear once more here. So what I did was I just took a snapshot on the left from that video, and on the right you have Beetlejuice. And if it is indeed a legitimate video, it's interesting that you've got some entity appearing that seems to have a lot of the same visual characteristics with clowns and, you know, portrayals of these characters that we see in movies. Something to think about. And there's carnivals, many carnivals, but the Carnival of Basel is the biggest carnival in Switzerland, and people dressing up as clowns, and of course UNESCO's involved, and they want to preserve that cultural heritage. Makes sense. But yeah, here's just an image from that carnival, and you know, why do we do this, right? Like, why do we dress up like clowns? This specific type of clown with the stripes and the pale face. And of course you got clowns in hospitals. Clown care, also known as hospital clowning, involves visits in healthcare facilities, involving visits from specially trained clowns. Now I should mention, you know, a lot of good is done, and you got a lot of people with good intent dressing up as clowns and bringing a smile to children who need a smile. So there's a lot of good being done, but it's just what we're questioning is the root of this. Like, why clowns, and specifically why pale-faced, red-headed clowns? And when you look at the Shriner hospitals, of course there's connections to Masonry, right? Not all Masons are Shriners, but all Shriners are Masons. And again, we talked about this checkerboard pattern, the pale face, and now we have, you know, this connection with children. And on the surface it seems fine, and like I said, a lot of good is done. But now when you think secret society and this, now we're looking at like why the pale-faced red-headed clown, you know, now it sort of takes a different tone, but just something to point out. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, I first saw this series on this channel called Understanding Conspiracy. So I will leave a link to, this is his channel name. You can search for him in YouTube, but I will also leave a link to the video series that I found.
You're dead in my eyes once you try to play. No, there ain't no saving. You'll die in your place. Try to walk all over me. I am not a doormat. Trying to talk down on me. I'ma just ignore that. Hopping in the whip quick. I'm turning ignition. Swerving right past him. I'm I'ma have to ditch, send him to the ICU. This blade gon' dissect him. I'm a big baller, young David Beckham.